guys, it's me, Jen, your Pudgy Picker, here with another weight loss update. So we are talking week 30. I just had a little snack. I had something light for lunch and I had a snack. So I wanted to show this to you because if you're on this journey and you have issues with things moving along as they should, these are awesome. You just can't have too many or you'll have an opposite problem of constipation. I've been trying Misfit Markets and I saw these on there and I tried them the first order and I just ordered 6 bags and they just came today. But I put them in the fridge. I'm going to ration them. So the name of the company is called Realsy, R-E-A-L-S-Y, peanut butter dates. They're dates, they're not prunes. I thought they were prunes. Okay, but these are, so here's what they look like. Oh, they're so good. So all it is organic dates and peanuts and sea salt. Simple, simple. So very delicious, very yummy. Oh, where are they? I already ate them. Okay. So, also in this video, as I just dropped that on the floor, I'm going to do at the end of my little spiel here, I'm going to do a few clips. I'm going to show you, in an average day, I'm going to show you how I make my breakfast shake, because I know I've been like, hey, I'm going to have to show that to you. So I'm going to show that to you. That is a total of 350 calories. And I guess in my clip, I didn't really address the coffee. Excuse me, you could do cold brew coffee, you can make it yourself, you can buy it. Anytime I've gone to find cold brew coffee, it has calories in it. So I'm like, or a lot of calories. And I'm like, no. So I just have a Keurig, so I do a pot of my hazelnut coffee. I do the 10-cup setting, and then I have a big pickle jar. You'll see it in the clip. I pour the coffee in there, put it in the fridge, and then I have it for 3 days. So it's like easy peasy. So when you see the coffee in there, that's what it is. So I'll have a breakfast, I'll have my lunch, and then I'll show you a dinner. So it wasn't all on the same day, but the breakfast and the lunch are something I eat like every day. And then dinner just kind of varies. So next of all, I need to tell you I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare professional. These videos are me documenting my journey on my semaglutide through Mochi Health. Everything I say here is my experiences and hence my opinion. I'm not affiliated with, being paid by, or compensated in any way for my videos by Mochi or anyone else. I'm just expressing what I'm doing. Also, I'm not advocating or encouraging anyone to take these medications. I think if you're under a certain set of circumstances, it's perfect for you. But that is something that you need to discuss with your doctor and not ask or get information from random people on the internet. Hi, I'm random. So, yeah. So, week 31. So, I got my little paper. So this weight loss is for week 30, which covers from January 22nd through January 28th. Can you believe we're at the end of January already? So my starting weight this week was 222.6 pounds. My ending weight was 220.4 pounds for a loss of 2.2 pounds. Yay! My overall starting weight from July 1st was 264.4, making my total weight loss 44 pounds even. Nice, huh? We're right between 40 and 50. It's going to be amazing to hit 50. And to dip under 220 is going to be definitely a nice thing as well. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm inching closer to Wonderland, which is when your weight starts with a 1. Looking forward to breaking that barrier. So basically I have about 35 pounds to my first goal. It's been forever since I've been my ideal weight, or any weight even near ideal. So I kind of just want to get to 185 and see how I feel. And then maybe go a little down from there probably. I want to be basically between 180 and 185 is what I'm guessing. And I think it's doable. Also mentioned that I am quite tall, so I know, you carry your weight different when you're tall rather than being short, and I am like 5'10", so that helps. So how was my week? How did it go? My food, I sound like a broken record. I usually have my protein shake in the morning, and then I have lunch. Recently I've been stuck on, I have a Greek yogurt that has lots of extra protein in it. I think it's like 19 grams of protein in 1 cup. It's an Aldi brand. I think it's kind of like the one, if you've ever heard of the brand Too Good. It's very good. It's like a Greek. That one from Aldi comes in vanilla and mixed berry. And I just like the vanilla one, and then I add about maybe 1/2 to 3/4 cups of blueberries, and I also get the crunchy granola bars, the green ones. I think they're very similar to the Nature's Valley. I get those and I crunch those up, so you'll see that in that clip. And then dinner, I kind of concentrate on having a protein and a vegetable, and maybe a little starch, but I prioritize protein and vegetable. I'm supposed to have protein and some kind of fruit and vegetable with every meal. So that is that. Side effects, I had a little bit of nausea, but it was actually early in the week. I had a couple days where it was, but I mean, I wasn't like down and out. I wasn't feeling horrible. I wasn't not wanting to do anything, that kind of thing. So that was good. And considering last week I threw up again, I haven't done that this week. Been feeling very good. Had a lot of gas and had my little sulfur burps. They just sound different than any other burp you've ever heard. And if you know, you know. My exercise, I am majorly into this weight hula hoop thing. I'll show it to you. I think I have it here in my office somewhere. And I'm going to confess to the last probably week or so, I usually listen to music when I'm cooking dinner. So it's been a dancing around, and no, you're not going to see that. Nobody wants to see that. But I'm in there, I'm dancing around, I feel good, I feel energetic, and it's a couple extra calories burned, so why not? My mood, since I felt pretty good physically, my mood was pretty good as well. I know for the last week and a half or so, I've kind of just been in a little bit of a mental fog with this weight loss thing. And now that I've been doing this for over 6 months, I finally see the ebb and flow. I think a lot of times when you start doing something like this, the first time you mess up or you eat a little more of something you shouldn't, you should have, or you eat something that you shouldn't have. There's a mental process of getting through that. And so many times in the past, that's kind of stopped me up. And I've been like, no, this ain't gonna work. And one thing you eat turns into a bad meal, and a bad meal turns into a bad eating day, and it can go on for days. So I finally think I've gotten a little bit of that. What I keep calling it this because I don't know what else to call it. If you know of a different term, then let me know. But it's a pattern interrupt. It's like you're driving down the street and you go over one of those speed humps and you're like, oh, okay. It kind of does that. So, you need things like that to kind of just like, okay, get my brain right. And I know when my brain is right that my eating and my exercise and everything else is much easier. It's when you're mentally kind of fighting yourself, it's a little harder, I think. I don't think I have any upcoming appointments. Last time I talked to my nutritionist, I was talking to her about being in this mental fog and struggling and that kind of thing. So when I saw her last Thursday on the 23rd, she said, no, I saw her on the 16th, and she said, go ahead and make your appointment for the 23rd. And she said, if you feel like you're, mentally you're back on and you're doing well, cancel that appointment, move it another week out, so it'll be 2 weeks between our visits. So yeah. So I went ahead and canceled on the 23rd. And then when I went to make my appointment, she didn't have anything open on the 30th, which is this Thursday. So I think I pushed it out. I think the first available day she had was February 3rd. And that is, that's close to going on vacation. And I think we're also having our vendor dinner get-together thing that night too. So I usually end up don't eating at those. I just kind of show up and mingle and, you know, get to talk to people and that kind of thing. So I don't really eat. I think the last time they did like tacos. So everybody pays like $5 and then they have like a buffet style at a place. We usually have the whole place to ourselves. So I don't see my my nutritionist until February 3rd, and I just had an appointment with my, I call it my shot doctor. So I had that last Tuesday, and I don't need to see her but every 2 to 3 months. So I look at that and I think, okay, January, February, March, anywhere from like 3rd week, March on. That's what I usually do. So I think I already made that appointment. I don't know. I'll have to look. Oh, also in March, I see my family doctor. So she's been watching me going through this journey as well. Last time I saw her was in September of last year. That's when I got all my blood work done and all that stuff. And at that point, I was 235. So I'm happy that I'll be down 15 pounds when I see her next. So I kind of take into consideration, you know, what she says and how she's feeling about the whole thing. So it's not that I'm just going to the Mochi Health doctor, that I am actually, you know, talking to my regular family practice doctor, someone who physically sees me all the time. Well, not all the time. I go once a year, basically. I'm not really sick that much, so it's not like I go there very often, you know. It's a good thing. So yeah, I'll be seeing her in March, so we'll see. Also in March is that thing I told you about, that health screening that goes visiting, where they check, you know, different things with the ultrasound. I didn't sign up for any of the blood work stuff because I do that with my own family doctor. And something I'm going to be addressing in March with my regular doctor is my blood pressure has been high. So I'm going to have to maybe perhaps go on something that I hope I will eventually go off once I lose a little more weight. My blood pressure's been a little on the high side. I don't know why. I've been heavier and had better blood pressure. I don't know. But that right now, that's my only issue. I'm not pre-diabetic. I'm nowhere near pre-diabetic. My A1C was 5. Everything on all my blood work looked great, except I needed to start taking vitamin D, which I did. Since September, I've been taking that. So this appointment is mainly a follow-up on the medicine, the shots that I'm taking, and the blood pressure issue. So that's it. So yeah, March has got a lot of appointments in it. So yeah, so just keep plugging along, you know. I'm very happy with how it's been going. I know I've been getting a few concerned messages again. As long as they're not mean-spirited, I leave them up. I am glad that, you know, anyone that feels that they want to say something about, you know, what I'm doing or whatever. I mean, if you want to say something or you have an opinion, that's fine. But if it leans on the not so nice, then I don't put up with that. I just want you to know that I've said this before, I take this very seriously. When you are literally ingesting something or literally shooting something into your body, you really have to be mentally in a right spot to do that. You have to know what the side effects are. I've always been one that said to my doctor, they're like, well, you know, if this or this is a problem, let us know. And I'm like, you know, if I'm not feeling well or things are in a certain way, then I need to know. I understand exactly when I need to get intervention from a doctor. So I get that, and I appreciate everybody being concerned, but I am a very, 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 very careful person. I'm very pragmatic. I really think things through. I'm not impulsive. I've just never been that way. Even as a kid, I would be like, I want to stomp and break something. And then I'm like, no, because if I do that, then I got a mess to clean up. And then, so I'm not one that just, acts in business, in personal life, in this journey. I'm not an impulsive person. So it wasn't like, hey, that's great. Hey, get it to me. Thank you. I think that's interesting. And before I move on to the clips of the food that I've eaten over the last week, my sample of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I did want to mention that I'll put it down in the description box, the name of the doctor that I just kind of caught a few of his videos. He is a medical doctor, and he just started over the last couple of years specializing in these kind of medicines or metabolic, that kind of thing. And he did a video. I don't know if it was recent or if it just popped up in my feed, but he was talking about, and also to mention, he's lost like 150 pounds on the GLP-1 medications too. And he said something interesting that I'm always seeing in the GLP-1 support group that I'm in. And people, swearing up and down, I inject it into my arm and it works so much better and I lose more weight. And then people like, no, I put it in my thigh and it's so much better than your stomach. And so this doctor talked about the differences between, the shot location. He said there's only been like one study that was trying to see if that was the case, if one site was better or worse than another. And the only issue with the study that he had, and I understand too, is it didn't include a lot of people. Now, when you do like a clinical trial, you can literally have hundreds or thousands of people participating. And that way you get a bigger scope and more accurate answers, I think, the majority of the people or how it's split and how they're doing. And he said that they did this with these, I think it was like 50 people, which is a very small study. Clinical trials, you have to have a lot of people because you're trying to get approval for a drug usually, to my understanding. So something that is like, hey, I wonder if this would happen. There's not going to be a lot of money for that study. Hence, they're not going to be able to bring in a lot of people and keep up with that data. So he said out of 50 people, the people that did the shot in their arm or in their leg maybe seem to have a little less side effects than injecting it into your stomach. Now you're doing this into your subcutaneous fat. So the needle's like this long and you jab it all the way in and that's where you're putting it in. That's why you put it in your arm, your thigh, or your stomach where you have extra fat. He also said that you seem to lose more weight. Like, this is like 1 or 2 percentage points. We're talking about a minute difference. But he said that that people who inject it into their stomach, it seems to, they might lose a little more weight, but they are more likely to have more side effects. And again, teeny tiny percentage. So I usually do the shots in my stomach. I have my belly button, I do right side, and then next time I do left side, and I go back and forth. I believe I did it in my arm once. Doing it in your arm is hard. You have to literally maybe push up against a table or something so you have the other hand free to do the shot or have somebody help you. And I don't know. I've never been one to think, basically there is no difference. You have these approved places you're supposed to put them, and some people they swear up and down, the arm's so much better. If that works for you, that's fine. It's an approved place where you're supposed to put it. So I'm not going to really change what I'm doing. I find it interesting that people are starting to kind of wonder. And, you have all the information that you need to go through when you're learning to take this and what should I look out for. And then after you've been on it a while, you start having that, does the location matter? Or what about this? The other thing that doctor is doing for himself is he takes a lower dose, but he takes it every 5 days. So I'm fine with doing it for a week. I don't change my shot day. A certain amount of that is I need to remember what my shot day is, and if I'm moving it around, that it's not gonna work in my brain. Also, when I went off of the medication, I had a 2-week period between shots because I had a colonoscopy a few weeks ago, and even that, during that week, I had way less side effects, but I was still, let me turn my fan on. I'm getting hot by gesturing, but I didn't really have a lot of side effects, so I felt like better that week that I wasn't on it. And then I didn't have the food noise, so I was like best of both worlds. So that was interesting because I've been taking it every week since July. I haven't had a reason to miss. So when I had a reason to miss, I thought, well, this is going to be interesting to see how this works. So yeah, crazy. So that is all I got. Next week will be before my vacation. Not sure how it's going to work. During my vacation, I will be out of town. Part of it is trying to think of the day of the week I leave, because I'm not going to worry about weighing in anywhere else and other scales and all that other stuff. I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to be careful in what I'm eating, especially if I'm on the shot. I can't just be like, whoa, I'm just going to eat all this crap, because then I get to a point where I throw up with the medicine, and that's dumb, and we're not going to do that anymore. And I think that's why the last 2 times this has happened, it was because I ate more than what I should have, but it was a food I was allowed to have. Does that make sense? So yeah, so that's part of the, are you determined to stay on it and you're going to stick to it? Yeah, because I know if I overindulge, I know what's going to happen, and it's not pleasant. So the next few clips are going to be my shake, my lunch, and a dinner I had recently. So enjoy those. Make sure to give feedback. Leave a comment down below. How are you doing? What'd you think of my meals? This is stuff I go over with my nutritionist, as I have a food journal that I keep every day. It just helps me to keep on pace of what I'm doing. So yeah, so I like the way I'm doing things. I think I've been on it long enough where I'm kind of fine-tuning how I do things, and I'm pretty happy with that. So that is all I got. I will see you next time, but stay tuned for my meals. Okay, so gave you a brief rundown of what I put in it, so I'm going to show you. So I have the BodyTech Isolate Whey Protein. You could use any protein powder that you want. I use the Vital Proteins Collagen Peptide. This is in chocolate, but I have got the one that doesn't taste like anything, which is fine. This one size lasts a long time because you don't need much. This is the coffee I told you about in my Vlasic pickle jar. 1 frozen banana cut up into chunks. This is the almond milk brand Friendly Farms from Aldi. My Ninja blender, and then to top it off, I have Aldi whipped cream and a little bit of cinnamon, and there's my cup. So let's get busy and make my protein shake. Okay, so as I said, when I make this coffee, I get enough for 3 days. And I'm going to fill it up to about 4 ounces. That's more than 4 ounces. Yeah. That is, I don't know, like 12 ounces, a little over a cup. So I have enough for 1 more day. Next thing I'm going to add is my protein powder. And then next is a little bit of a heaping of the collagen powder. I made so many of these, it's just not even funny. I get the snack size because it's a good way to do it. And then in my freezer, I just have them all individual. So there's the banana. And then last but not least, I did look up, you're supposed to shake almond milk. But I like almond milk. I think it tastes better, it has less calories, and it lasts longer. So now I'm going to fill this up for probably way higher than it should be. About there. Now I'm going to blend it, and I'm going to spare you the sound. Okay, I have my big summer cup. It has a top that looks like the top of an ice cream cone. So I got about that much ice in it. I like it extra cold. Perfectly sized. I think this is like 32 ounces. And then we're going to do a little bit of whipped cream. And then a little bit of cinnamon. And you know, it's not just to be fancy. It actually could taste the cinnamon. So let's sit down and try this out. Okay, it's very good. So what I do is I drink it down a little bit, and then I kind of stir in the whipped cream. Oh, that's good. Now, if you wanted to do this without the coffee, you could have it later in the day, or you could have decaf coffee. I don't know. And this, the total calories for this is 350 calories, and that's my breakfast, and it takes me till about 2 o'clock. I'm running a little late today, so I'm having this a little later than I should. But yeah, so I have that, my vitamins, and I put everything in my calendar and my food journal. And yeah, so let's move on and see what I have for lunch. Okay, it's time for lunch. This ends up being a usual. I eat around, I don't know, 2 o'clock. I think my clock on my wall is stopped, but you're not here for that. I have my ever-present bottle of water, and then I have my vanilla yogurt. It's Friendly Farms, which is an Aldi brand. This is Super Zero, which means it has 100 calories, and it has 15 grams of protein. So I have that. That's 100. And then this is their granola bar. You could probably find ones that are less calories, but these are the crunchy ones, so I just crunch them up. And then I have a couple blueberries. So that is the lunch. It's very, very delicious and nutritious. So next up is dinner. Okay, so this is dinner. I have some cilantro lime chicken and some chicken rice and steamed cabbage, because cabbage is always a good idea. So that is my dinner.